Hi, and welcome back to Krinx TV, where it's Halloween every single day.
Except when it's not.
If you're new here, I'm Minx.
And I'm Chrism.
And today we're playing This Is Not Your House.
But it is my house.
We're gonna find out whose house is it?
A small house.
Oh my god.
What you doing in my house?
Oh my god. This is the spooky point and click with multiple endings. Let's check it out. We have got the background sound on this one because it says that it is streaming and video safe.
Okay.
Roger always knew if he were attacked, it would happen on the walk from his car to his home. So, he readied his house key before stepping out of the vehicle. Keeping it ready, as he walked to the trunk of his car, he hangs his groceries from his wrists, keeping his fingers free to open the front door without fumbling. As Roger makes his way to the porch, his eyes start darting between the house's corners. He'd read about a young woman being ambushed in her driveway the week before. He tries to put it out of his mind by counting how many steps it takes him to reach the front door. But he can't stop listening for the sound of someone rushing toward him. There is a gentle breeze and the white noise of distant traffic. Roger assures himself he is right to remain vigilant. It only takes a split second for someone to get the drop on you. Steady with the key now, smooth as fast. Roger's key slides in on the first try. It won't turn. Roger removes his key and inspects it. It's engraved with a large H, definitely the correct key. Roger tries the key again. Locked. Jammed. Broken, maybe? Baby.
I know. Book it. It's book it.
Book it. Roger takes a step away from the door and scans the area for suspicious persons. He sees no one. He releases his grasp on the key and leaves it in the lock. He drops his grocery bags on the porch. He tries furiously to turn, pull and push on the key and door handle every which way, without success. Roger hears something inside. A shadow passes by the window. It looks like someone's silhouette through the curtain. Roger pounds on the door. Open up this instant! The police are en route! The door unlocks from the inside. Can you be the homeowner, baby?
Can I help you?
You can start by getting out of my house.
This house does not belong to you.
Check the deed, lady.
A deed is only a piece of paper.
One that proves this house is my property.
Personal property is a social construct.
Oh no.
Those who inhabit a space own it.
Let her have the house or take your house back. We're gonna get different endings, so we'll just go with take your house back first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have a rotisserie chicken cooling off out here. I'll be eating it in my dining room before it's room temp. The homeowner attempts to shut the door on Roger. Roger swiftly jams his foot between the door and its frame.
Oh god, our face.
He presses his face into the gap his foot provides. I don't think you heard me. Roger shoulders the door wide open. The homeowner stumbles back into the kitchen.
You forgot your chicken.
Get the chicken or stand our ground for now. This seems like a trap. I'll get it when you're gone.
Be sure not to leave too often, Roger. I have a habit of roosting in untended spaces.
Roger hears a car start up right outside. He looks out the window to see what's going on. The homeowner waves from the driver's seat of his car and disappears down the road. It can't be! Roger whirls around. The homeowner is no longer in the kitchen. He proceeds to clear the house, room by room, until he's sure she's gone. Roger spent the next few days gathering up every trace of the homeowner's presence and passed it on to the authorities. Doilies, table runners, oil drape runners, candles. It seemed like she'd lived there for years, leaving things in odd places someone familiar with the space would. It took Roger an additional half day just to rearrange the furniture. Thankfully, she hadn't moved in her own. Then there was nothing left for Roger to do, except his grocery shopping. He decided to have his groceries delivered by a boy from the neighborhood for a while. He didn't want to leave the house alone. He started to feel silly about it after a few weeks passed. Police couldn't locate his missing car. He bought a junker so he could handle his errands around town. Roger didn't notice the walk from his car to his house anymore. The only thing that worried him is whether or not he could turn the key when he got home. A shadow passes by the window. End credits. That's it.
Okay, then.
So it loops for this ending. This video is brought to you by our wondrous Patreon supporter, Jimmy Hatcher. Thank you, Jimmy, for making this video possible and being a beautiful numpkin all at the same time. We really hope you enjoy this creepy little visual novel, and we hope everyone else enjoys watching it too. Thank you once again, Jimmy, for being amazing. If you want a shout out like this, maybe you want me to shout out your book, your art, all that kind of stuff as well, consider pledging to our Patreon. There's a link in the description. It'd be amazing to have more of you on board, and shout out some more stuff for the community, whether it's just a little shout out like this or something a bit more personalized. Anyway, thank you everyone. Thank you, of course, to our producer Alice as well. Make sure you are following Alice at the beautiful links on screen so you can watch her live when she does her streams. She streams regularly on Sundays. Make sure you're following her and showing her some love and support too. Thanks for listening, everyone. Now, enjoy the rest of the video. So now, we're gonna get the chicken. That's our priority, baby. Get the chicken, okay?
Yep.
Roger turns around to collect his groceries. He sees someone analogous to the homeowner devouring his rotisserie chicken. The homeowner behind Roger grabs a paring knife. Oh no! The homeowner clamps a hand over Roger's mouth and shoves the blade into his back.
Oh god.
I think this is meant to be blood.
Yeah, I think so.
Roger tries to bite the homeowner and break free. Her hand remains firmly clamped over his mouth. He can taste the tang of her blood with an unexpected acidity. The homeowner gently lowers Roger to the floor. Roger tries to get up but grows weaker as blood pumps through his heart and out his back. The homeowner keeps him pinned to the floor and presses down to strain his breathing. Roger grows tired and slips away into a calm and reassuring dark. The homeowner's analog grabs the grocery... Oh, it's literally a replicant. Grabs the grocery bags and carries them inside. It sets the bags on the floor and steals a glance at Roger.
We have plenty to eat tonight. There may even be enough to store in the freezer. We'll need to dress and quarter it first to see what there is. Now close the door. I won't tolerate a draft.
The homeowner's analog grabs the door and throws it shut. The goings-on of the house safeguarded from the eyes of prying neighbors by a door and some drapes. And that's the end of that ending.
Okay then.
Alright, we're gonna let her have the house, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Keep the house. I'll take my car and head down to the station.
Which car is that?
The one I pulled up in.
I didn't notice.
The only one sitting in the driveway.
But sir, that's my car.
What in the hell? Roger turns just in time to see the car he calls his own reversing into the street. He sees the homeowner wave to him from the driver's seat and disappear down the road.
Here, let me help you with that.
Roger tries to run after his car, but the homeowner grabs hold of his shirt. She slips it off with one deft sweep. Roger spins around, trying to grab hold of his button-down. He feels goosebumps forming on his arms as his nipples harden. Excuse me?
It's cold.
Give me my shirt back!
No need for these either.
The homeowner grabs the hem of Roger's pants and yanks backwards, knocking Roger flat on his back. The homeowner quickly slides off his pants and the remaining articles on his person. Roger lies dazed with his head pounding from the collision with the porch. Roger wraps his arms around his head and groans. The homeowner glides into the house, slamming the door behind her. Roger pulls himself to his feet. He cups his genitals in his hands and tries to keep warm. He shakes from the cold. Oh, we have 4 options here. I'll make a quick save here. Alright, which one do you want to go for first?
Might as well go from top to bottom.
Alright, break down the door. Roger is a strong man, but not strong enough to break a door down with his bare feet. So instead he takes a swing at the door's window. He feels something warm and slippery pour down his arm as he fumbles with the deadbolt. He manages to get a grip on the lock and slide it open. What's this music? Roger opens the door and shuffles inside. He hears heavy footsteps from the floor above. The steps indicate the homeowner is headed for the stairs. Shit. Had she found his shotgun? Roger only had a moment to act. Oh shit, there's even more. I guess, hide and... Whoever, arm yourself first. Roger darts into a knife block in the kitchen a mere 15 feet away. He yanks out the butcher's knife and wheels around, heading for the stairs. A yellow flash and flecks of cinder. Roger lies dead, practically eviscerated by his own shotgun. The homeowner calls the police to report the incident. What is left of the body is labelled a John Doe. It is cremated by the town according to protocol. The local paper released a story about the incident, labelling Roger an unidentified drifter and the homeowner as a neighbourhood hero. Some locals caught the story and recognised Roger from the area. A correction was printed, but it portrayed Roger as an unstable addict to account for his very state of undress and violent behaviour.
Oh my god.
Local officers used Roger as a cautionary tale at school assemblies to display the dangers associated with drug abuse. Holy shit! The homeowner was heralded throughout the state as an example of a homeowner who defended themselves when police were nowhere in sight. She was paid handsomely to act as the keynote speaker for a variety of clubs and events over the next few years. End credits. Alright, you ready to hide and ambush this time, baby?
Yep.
Roger wasn't sure he could make it to the kitchen and back before the homeowner reached him. He presses himself against the corner wall by the bottom of the staircase, hoping he will remain out of sight. The homeowner's heavy footfall makes it easy to follow her movements. Roger sees the barrel of his shotgun slide through the entryway. He grabs hold of it and rushes around the corner. The homeowner falls back on the stairs. Roger yanks the gun away from her with his good hand. The homeowner stares at Roger and tries to sit up. Roger brings the butt of the shotgun down on her face. He presses down, grinding and twisting it into her. Her smile peeks out at him from around the gun stock. This is awful. She reaches for the trigger. Roger pulls the gun away and brings it down on her face. He does it again, and again.
Yeah, Jesus.
And again. Relentlessly fragmenting and distorting her features into a puddle. He was satisfied when he could no longer see her eyes. The police arrived shortly after. A neighbour called 20 minutes earlier due to the sound of breaking glass followed by repeated muffled blows. As Roger and his defence team could not adequately explain the circumstances leading to him viciously beating an unarmed woman to death in his home, a woman police were never able to identify due to excessive facial and dental trauma, missing fingertips and a lack of documentation, the jury found Roger Callback guilty of first-degree homicide. The prosecution was able to convince them Roger had kidnapped the woman and killed her when she attempted to escape his home. Roger now inhabits a cell on death row, awaiting lethal injection.
Jesus Christ.
These are horrible! Holy shit! Alright, so we're back at this menu. This time we're going to wait her out, okay? I think we're going to freeze to death if we do this, but let's do it anyway, yeah? Roger was not one to bully others, or be bullied himself. He stood resolutely on his porch like any respectable citizen would, completely naked. He spent the first few hours hollering and pounding on his own front door. As it grew late and cold, Roger began to lose feeling in his extremities. His pounding became limp and inconsistent, and his hollers turned to hoarse whispers. He became warm and a bit drowsy. Roger reasoned it was best to get some rest and resume his valiant opposition in the morning. Morning did not come for Roger. He sat on his porch, curled up, and nestled his head against the front door. It was the comfiest and sleepiest Roger had ever been. The homeowner discovered Roger at dawn and called the police. Cause of death was determined to be hypothermia. He was tagged as a John Doe and placed in a morgue to await cremation. Roger's final moments were warm, and he was not afraid. This is so miserable! Bubba, this is bum! Alright, this time, we're not going to die of cold. We're going to seek shelter, okay, Bubba?
Yeah.
What would you do in this situation? Just call the police, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the only thing you should be doing. I don't know why we've even got to this stage. Anyway, seek shelter. With no immediate means of retaking his house, he might have a horse. Roger thinks it's best to find somewhere to rest. He takes off into the woods in search of shelter from the elements. Roger finds a grove just before dark. At its center stands an immense hollow tree. Roger crawls inside and huddles against its bark for warmth. It protects him from the biting wind outside. As he settles into a comfortable position, his breathing slows and he drifts off to sleep. He wakes the next morning to terrible hunger pangs. He crawls out the tree and onto the dewy forest floor. Okay, where does he live?
I have no idea.
Like, surely he could go into town and be like, someone attacked me, that's why I'm
that's
naked.
not what we chose.
No, but he did. There's no option to do that. The
Yes,
option
there is.
Is there?
There's an option to find help. That will be after this
Oh,
one.
okay, sorry. Ignore
Now
what I said then.
continue on.
He scrounges around looking for food. He happens upon a large growth of mushrooms.
Oh,
it
this
seems
is
like.
not going to end well.
This is a bad idea. We got two choices: eat the mushrooms or don't eat the mushrooms. We'll eat them the first time. Roger consumes the mushrooms with a desperate ferocity. They have a bitter taste, but Roger's hunger allows him to chew through it. As his belly fills with the mushrooms, he starts to feel ill. His head begins to spin. His manner of thought shifts and becomes fluid. Roger sees the world around him as part of him. Or he is part of it. A very small part. What is this music? A moat. The homeowner was right, in part. Personal property is a construct, but habitation is not means of ownership. He did not own the immense tree any more after sleeping in it than he did before knowing of it. The moat merely landed on the tree. In the morning it came upon some mushrooms and began thinking of the world before itself. It surrendered itself to the soil, to the cool damp, to the network. Forsaking hunger, forsaking words. Words like Roger and returning home. We became part of the fungus. Alright, so we're not going to eat the mushrooms because that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
We'll become like the Borg. Roger wasn't sure if the mushrooms were poisonous or not. He didn't want to risk dying from a single breakfast. He let them be. But the fact remained, he was hungry. He sets out for the edge of the forest at a brisk pace. He skulks through the tree lying parallel to the road, to hide his nakedness. As the forest thins, he ducks into alleys and hides behind... How has he not been seen? Why are the police not on their way? He smells something on the breeze. It makes him salivate and clench his fists with an aggravated longing. Bright red. Something catches Roger's eye. A fire station. They might be able to help. Oh my god, there's more dialogue here. I guess we'll go to the fire station.
Yep.
Reason compels Roger to stop at the fire station and seek assistance. He knocks on the front door. The man who answers seems unfazed by Roger's lack of dress. Sir, is it possible the station has some clothing it could lend me? Or some food to spare? You be the fireman.
Oh, plenty of both. Come on in.
Roger is given a baggy t-shirt with the monogram of a defunct company on it, accompanied by some ill-fitting pants. He relaxes knowing he will not be charged with indecent exposure.
Terry's in charge of lunch for the station today. He's got a pot of chili going. Might not be appetizer first thing in the morning, but it's what we got.
I would appreciate some, thank you. The fireman nods and hurries back with a bowl of chili and a cold beer. Roger isn't normally one for beer, but it's dark and filling.
So if you don't mind my asking, what's got you in the street with your packer hanging out?
I went out for some groceries yesterday. While I was out, some woman broke into my house and changed the locks. I couldn't get back in and had to spend the night in the woods.
Well, why was your pecker out? You like shopping naked?
No, the woman had an accomplice who broke into my car when I was trying to get into the house. I tried to stop him from taking the car, but the woman in the house jumped me from behind when I did. I took a bad blow to the head and she stripped me on the porch and her pal took off with my car. The fireman scratches his beard.
Why didn't you go to the police?
It was freezing out and getting dark fast. I didn't know how to find the station and she took my phone, so I just holed up for the night.
Glad you made it. Awfully cold last night. Kind of makes it our slow season.
I'm just glad I stumbled onto this place. The brick's facade helps it stand out.
You got any kind of documentation to prove that you own the house?
Of course, I have the deed in the safety deposit box, but I need my ID to get it. And that bitch took my pants with my wallet still in them.
You think she's still in the house, or took off in the car with her pal?
She had no intention of leaving, I can tell you that.
That settles it then. I'll get the blues on the horn and get this sorted for you.
The fireman lumbers over to a phone on the far wall. A wave of relief washes over Roger, knowing a civil servant is assisting him. Still, the fireman's reaction to Roger's story troubles him. He doesn't want the fireman thinking him a crazy old man. Worse still, Roger worries he's a crazy old man and just doesn't know it yet. A part of him hopes the woman is still in his house to prove to himself that what happened really happened. When police arrive at Roger's residence, they find the homeowner barricaded inside the upstairs room. Raving that the house is hers, she's been there all her life, it's her childhood home. She demands the police get a warrant to search the premises, but she is unable to provide personal ID or proof of residence. Bearing no legal claim to the property, she cannot refuse them entry. They are unable to locate Roger's wallet, believing the homeowner has destroyed it. Roger's social security card and birth certificate are recovered from the premises, which he uses to acquire the deed from his safety deposit box. With the proper paperwork secured and presented to the authorities, Roger is permitted entry to his home!
Huzzah!
The homeowner is taken into police custody. You asked for help, you secede? Roger spent the next several years checking in on the homeowner as she was transferred between a variety of state mental institutions. He eventually lost track of her in the system. Nearly forgot about her altogether until his car was recovered. It was unearthed at a site in Nevada where BlackRock was breaking ground on the construction of a new housing company. Roger put the car out of his mind. He didn't allow himself to worry about the homeowner. He kept his shotgun at his bedside, and he slept easy. End credits. That's actually a good ending. Holy shit. Alright, we're going to follow the scent of the food instead of being smart this time. Roger's hunger takes hold of him. It demands satisfaction, so he follows the scent in the air. He finds his way to the nearby Ultra store. The welcomer at the door barely notices him, distracted by a handheld gaming device. That's a very American thing, by the way, welcomers. Although some stores here have it, but it's quite rare. Roger wanders the vacant halls of the store until he finds men's clothing. Hang on, he's naked?
Yes.
He's
been naked this entire time.
Oh my god, he grabs a simple outfit, a pair of socks and some sneakers, then heads straight for the ready-made meals by the self-checkout, piping hot pizzas for breakfast. Roger grabs one of the boxes and takes a seat on the floor in front of the display. He uses the box as a plate and chows down on the warm treat. A bit sleepy but satisfied, Roger takes a moment to think. With some warm clothes and a full stomach, the answer strikes him almost immediately. Roger shuffles out of the store, leaving discarded pizza boxes and tags in his wake. He uses his PIN to access the ATM just outside the store and heads right back in. He pays for the clothes and pizza while checking out some additional supplies.
How do you have your card?
I thought she took everything.
Yeah.
Inconsistencies. Plot holes! Roger had never committed a criminal act. He was distressed to discover how easy it was. At his own house in broad daylight. No one paid any attention as he hooked a hose up to the gas tank outside the house. What is he doing?
He's gonna gas her out.
No one batted an eye when he broke the kitchen window, or ran the gas tank's hose to it. Not even when he threw the lit Zippo lighter inside.
Oh, he's lighting the house on fire.
The neighborhood only took notice when they heard the result. The fire department was first to arrive on the scene. Roger was impressed by their response time. Thankfully, their investigative abilities left much to be desired. They declared the fire a natural accident caused by a gas leak. Roger was able to claim the full amount of his insurance policy and use the money to buy a home closer to his grandchildren.
Oh, he is an old man.
Yeah, he is an old man. It's hard to tell from the pixels, I think. There we go. We blew her up and got a new house. Quite a positive outcome as well. We're going to do the most sensible thing when we're found naked on the front step, baby, which is find help. Let's go. Driven by the belief he cannot resolve the house theft on his own, Roger runs off to find help. Running down the road, he spots a police cruiser on patrol. Roger begins wildly flailing his arms and calling out for the vehicle to stop. The cruiser comes to a halt and an officer steps out from the passenger side. Roger sprints towards him, shouting, attempting to oh no.
He's gonna get shot.
Yeah, this ends bad. The officer enters a defensive stance and draws his weapon on Roger. Roger freezes in place, thrusting his hands into the air. You're the officer.
Don't move! Hands! Let me see those hands!
They're up. I'm cooperating.
Suspect is uncooperative.
I'm cooperating! What am I a suspect of?
Turn around! I said turn around right now!
Roger complies.
Walk backwards toward me.
Roger walks backwards towards the officer.
Not so fast!
Roger stops, in a lethal game of red light, green light.
Did I say stop?
Roger does not speak and he does not move. He does not want to alarm the officer.
Come on, hurry up!
Roger very slowly walks backwards towards the officer.
I said slowly, not slow motion. Pick up the pace!
Roger does not hasten his pace, preferring to aggravate the officer rather than do something that could be seen as threatening. Okay.
That's it.
The sound of the officer's thudding footsteps draw near to Roger. Roger hears cuffs being readied behind him. He feels the cold metal press against his wrists. The officer thrusts Roger against the hood of his car. Roger can feel the cuffs tightening further, cutting off circulation. Please, officer, I'm cooperating. The officer yanks Roger off the hood, steering him with the chain of his cuffs. The metal digs into Roger's wrist as he fails to anticipate the officer's movements. The officer pushes Roger into the back seat and slams the door. The officer quickly climbs into the front seat and jumps on the radio with dispatch regarding Roger's arrest. Roger's naked body wriggles for several minutes against the leather in the back seat while he attempts to sit up. The officer brings his fist down on the car's dashboard.
Keep it down back there!
A few tears stream down Roger's face in the dark. The tears make him feel ashamed, but he cannot suppress how angry and helpless he feels. Please, someone has broken into my house. Look, we're passing by it right now. Just pull over.
The old someone stole my house routine. Save it for the judge, junkie.
I'm not a junkie. I'm a senior citizen. I need help.
Don't see many elderly junkies, huh?
What are you talking about? The officer sits in total silence as they cruise towards the station. Roger sits back and tries not to exacerbate the situation further. Sorry, you.
So you're telling us you went out shopping and returned home to find your locks were changed?
That's right. Then I started pounding on the door and some strange woman answered.
Strange? How?
What do you mean? She stole my house!
Right. What is it that made her strange to you?
How calm she was about it all, like it was a perfect stranger, like she belonged there. The officers glance at one another.
So you found your locks changed and a strangely calm and comfortable woman at the door?
Yes, but she was in my car as well.
So she left your house?
No, she was in the house and I turned around and saw her driving away in my car at the same time.
A pair of twins?
No, it was her. Don't say that, you idiot! You sound insane! She was in the car and the house all at once.
So what happened to your clothes?
She took them, right there on the porch. When I turned to see the car taking off, she slipped my shirt off.
Without you even asking?
The officers snigger while sharing a look. It's not funny, I was assaulted.
Sir, if a woman came up to me with a smile and asked for my clothes, I wouldn't report her.
She knocked me down and ripped off my pants. By the way, I hate the attitude of that cop just then.
Yeah, I feel like this is unfortunately...
Like, tee-hee, you're a lucky guy.
No, not that. I think officers are just not helpful.
Fair.
Alright, sir, how much have you had to drink this evening?
Not a drop.
So you're telling me you tried to get into someone else's house in a confused state, thought you saw two of the same person, and wandered the streets naked. But you haven't had anything to drink.
That's not what I said. That isn't how it happened.
You've already given your statement. All I need to know is how much you were drinking. Give him a fucking breathalyzer!
We're gonna save here because it's quite a long way in. I guess we're gonna confess to drunkenness. Like an idiot. Roger hangs his head in his hands. You're right, officer. I've had a few too many tonight. I don't know what I'm saying.
It's alright, old-timer. Just be glad it's not dementia.
I'm very grateful.
Well, you can spend the night in the drunk tank and we'll release you in the morning.
Thank you, officers. Roger spent the last few hours of the evening resting in his cell bench. It was rigid and uncomfortable. Roger had learned to deal with discomfort in the service. True to his word, the officer released Roger first thing in the morning. Roger received a pair of sweatpants from the lost and found to replace his jumpsuit. He'd no phone or wallet and no idea what direction his house was in. He'd never been downtown and didn't know how to find his way out. He focused on finding shelter and food. He spent each day meeting his fundamental needs. Most passers-by refused to even look at him. The rest were too frightened by his appearance to speak with him. Everyone kept a safe distance from him. He faded into the crowds and entirely out of memory. End credits. Cut.
Okay, then.
Why is there not a fucking load option?
Quick load.
Yeah, but that loads just this one, not the one I wanted.
Oh.
Load. Oh, here. Okay. Cut back.
Alright, insist we're sober.
I was not drinking. It's true what I said, every word of it.
Put a note that the subject is not cooperating and we haven't even been able to positively identify him.
My name is Roger Cormack. I've already told you that.
Sir, you'll be transferred to a new facility in the morning. You can explain the situation to them.
What kind of facility?
The kind that has resources necessary to help someone like you.
Oh, dear God. Roger spent the remainder of his life being shuttered between state mental institutions. No one was able to properly identify what ailed him. Without a diagnosis and treatment plan in place, they were unable to release him. He raved about the woman who stole his house and his car. The staff learned to tune out his ravings as they did with all the other patients. Content to consider his ramblings those of a madman. Unspecific nonsense that you can hear pressing your ear to any patient's cell door. End credits.
Alright.
And that's it!
Is that all of them?
That is every outcome explored, I believe. Let's just check, though. 1 second, everyone.
Okay, so apparently that is all the endings.
What did you think of this?
It was interesting.
I think it's quite cool. There's actually an SCP that does this, by the way. Moves into your home while you're away, and then acts like it's their house.
Oh.
I don't know if this is based on that or it was their own idea, but it's quite cool. I like it. It's a creepy little premise of something that is ridiculous, but also slightly plausible. I liked it. I like the art style too, the Game Boy sort of look. Just not bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, remember to leave a like. Let us know what you thought in the comment section. And if you're feeling super nom, consider supporting us on Patreon.
Yeah.
We don't play visual novel stuff often, but if you have any more recommendations of these, we'd love them in the comments. And thank you for being spooky dooky enjoyers and having a fun time here with us.
What should they watch next?
They should watch... Oh my god, it's been a long time coming, but we released Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper just the other day. Make sure you haven't missed out on the big long play there. It's a long one, a great one. Make sure you check it out. Thanks for being on, and we'll see you later, everyone.
Bye!